So good morning / afternoon, students. Today we'll be going through the May 2015 paper. I'll be showing you how to go through the paper efficiently and effectively with minimal use of the calculator. So starting with question 1, where we have -3 squared plus -2 squared is equal to. Now, using my tools, we know a square means that -3 is being multiplied by itself. So it's -3 times -3. We should know by now that when we multiply two negative numbers, our result should be positive. So if we have -3 times -3, that should give me a value of +9. Likewise, -2 plus -2 should give me a value of +4. Now we should add those values together. 9 plus 4 should give me a value of 13. So that would give me an answer of C. Now 2 says, what number, when added to 1 1/3, gives 2? So I can write that in the form of an equation. 1 and 1/3 plus a number, I can call it x, should give me a value of 2. Now they're asking me to find that number. Now I can put the mixed numbers and improper fraction. And to change to an improper fraction, we multiply the whole number to the denominator and add the numerator. In this case, we should get a value of 4/3 plus x is equal to 2. Now, if you want to find x, remember 4/3 is being added to x. So if we want to get rid of 4/3 on one side, we have to subtract by 4/3. We know what we do on one side, we also have to do on the other side. So the fraction here will cancel. So we should have x equals 2 minus 4/3. Now we can put 2/1 and subtract using our knowledge of fractions. Now our LCM is 3. So that would give me a value of 3 times 2, because 1 into 3 is 3 times. 3 times 2 is 6. Minus 3 into itself. 1 times 4 is 4. And that should give me a fraction of 2/3. Therefore, my answer would be B. Now 3 says, Anne and Betty shared a sum of money in the ratio of 2:3 and received $120. What was Betty's share? Now to find Betty's share, you have to find the amount of money that was shared altogether. Now the money was shared into 5 equal parts. Anne got 2 parts and Betty got 3. So I can write it in a ratio. Anne is equivalent to $120. Now you're asking yourself, what is Betty's share equivalent to? I can write that as x. I can cross multiply. And when I cross multiply, I should get 2x on one side. And 120 times 3 should give me 360. Then I have to divide by 2 on both sides. Now that would give me a value of x is equal to 120. $80. So Betty's share was $180. So that gives me an answer. It says 11.1 divided by 0.01 is equal to. Now you know the rules when dividing decimals. You have to change these decimals to whole numbers using your knowledge of multiples of 10. Get 0.01 to be a whole number, we have to multiply that by 10 to the second power. Because we have to move the decimal point 2 spaces to the right to get a whole number of 1. Now what we do to the divisor, we also have to do to the dividend. Now when I multiply the dividend by 10 to the second power, that should give me a whole number of 1,110 divided by 1. Now anything divided by 1 should give you back its original identity, which should be 1,110. In this case, our answer is D. Now 5 says, a test was marked out of 80. A boy scored 60% of the marks on these tests. How many marks did he score? Now to find the 60% initially, it would have been a number out of the total, which is 80, times 100 should give me 60%. Now I can simplify this part of the equation. I can say 100 times x gives me 100x. Over 80 is equal to 60. Now I can put 60 over 1 and cross multiply. I should get 100x times 1, which is the same thing as 100x, is equal to 60 times 80, which is a value of 480. I can divide by 100 on both sides. Now 60 times 80 should give me 4,800 rather. So I should cancel. I get a value of x is equal to 48. So I can just cancel the zeros and I'm left with 48. So therefore my answer would be B. Now 6 is a similar question. If 30% of a number is 45, what is that number? Same working, so it's 30%. So 30 out of 100 of a number, you can call it x. Should give me a result of 45. Now I can simplify the left hand side of the equation by multiplying 30 times x. Now I should get 30x over 100 equal to 45. I can put 45 over 1 and I cross multiply. So I should get 30x on one side, 45 times 100 should give me 4,500. Now I need to divide by 30 on both sides. Now this would cancel, leaving x. I know 30 into itself 1. 30 into 45 goes one time. Remainder 15. Then we say 30 into 150 goes 5 times. Then we say 30 into 0 goes 0 times. So that leaves me with x equals a value of 150. So therefore the original number was 150. And our answer here would be C. Now it says, what is the value of the 6 in the number 48.061? Now we know digits to the left of the decimal point are multiples of 10. So that means we increase by a power of 10 as we go along. So the first point here is 10 to the 0 power, which is ones. We have 10 to the first power. Now to the right of the decimal point, we're dividing by multiples of 10. So therefore, the first place after the decimal point to the right is 1 out of 10. The second place is 1 out of 100. Now the digit in the 100th place, as we call it, is 6. Therefore, the value is 6 out of 100. So that gives me an answer of A. It says the highest common factor of 12, 15, and 60 is. Now you could write out all the factors of the three numbers, but if you look on your answer, we realize that 60 cannot go into all of the numbers and leave no remainder. 12 cannot go into all of the numbers and leave no remainder. 3 is the highest number that can go into all three numbers and leave no remainder. So therefore, B would be the highest common factor. Now it says, using the distributive law, or distributive property, 49 times 17 plus 49 times 3 is the same as, and we can take out what's common. 49 is common, leaving 17 plus 3. Now we can further simplify that by adding 17 plus 3. So we should get 49 bracket 50. I mean, not 50, 20 rather. When you see two numbers side by side, separated by a bracket, it means that those two numbers are being multiplied. So that is 49 times 20. So that would give me an answer of A. Now it says the next term in the sequence is, now you need to observe the sequence and you need to observe relationship between consecutive numbers or 2 consecutive numbers. Now the relationship between 1 and 6 is that we increase by 5. The relationship between 6 and 13 is that we increase by 7. The relationship between 12 and 22 is that we increase by 9. And the relationship between 22 and 33 is that we increase by 11. Now we need to find what is the relationship between 33 and the missing number. Now if you look on the pattern of the previous numbers in the sequence, what you realize is that first and foremost, they are odd numbers. Not only are they odd numbers, they are consecutive odd numbers starting from 5. So therefore, the first consecutive number after 12, after 11 rather, would be 13. Now that is a relationship between the previous number and the missing number. So to get that missing number, all I have to do is add 33 with 13. I should get a value of 46. And my answer would be C. It says, given that P is a set of 2, 3, 5, and 6, and Q is a set of 2, 3, and 4, P union Q is the set of, now you realize that this number ranges from 2 to 6. So we have 2, so we have 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Now that is the union. Now we need an inequality that can satisfy the union. Now to satisfy the union, we know that is either it starts at 2 and includes 2. So x is greater than or equal to 2. Or if you're starting from 1, it has to be greater than 1. Now, you realize that it goes up to 6. Now, it can be greater than, less than or equal to 6, or it can be less than 7. Now, we need to find which solution satisfies all those variables. Now, realize that in the first one, it says that x is less than or equal to 1, but less than 7. Now, that is false, because 1 is not a part of the union. Now, B says that it's greater than 1, but less than 7. Now, that is correct, because we start at the first consecutive number after 1, which is 2, and we end at the last consecutive number before 7, which is 6. So therefore, our answer would be B.